Hello, Ray Class, what is up? Zambash here. Just a few minutes ago, the details for the new Path of Exile League were released, so we're going to go ahead and go through those in real time now, and I can see I've just gone to the Path of Exile website here, and it looks like the new league is going to be called Bestiary, releasing on March 2nd, and the supporter packs are now available. We'll look at those afterwards. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and click the Bestiary logo, and we'll see what happens, see what this challenge league is all about. See if there's any cool videos we can watch together and give my general thoughts. I'm house sitting for a friend right now, as you can tell by the different than usual scenery behind me. We're house sitting in a really nice house, which is pretty dope and has been a lot of fun. But their internet is not very fast, so we're going to have to be a little patient here, let things load. We'll probably come back to the top. I imagine eventually there's going to be some kind of video there. Well, let's just start reading. Bestiary League. In the Bestiary Challenge League, Hunter Scavenger Einhar Frey teaches you how to hunt, capture, and sacrifice beasts in order to craft powerful items. Alright. Path of Exile's March update includes the Bestiary League, dozens of new items, new gems, new endgame content, and more. And supposedly this little league is supposed to be focused around a rebalancing of Ascendancies. Still nothing loaded there, so we'll keep going. Capture dangerous beasts. With Einhar's help, you can capture any of the beasts of Rayclast. As you master the art of hunting, you can capture legendary beasts, which are rare and formidable foes. And we've got some screenshots here. Looks like somebody's capturing a wolf. Somebody's capturing a crappy little crab. And is this one going to load for us? Ooh, is this some legendary beast action going on here? Yeah, that is definitely some stuff I don't recognize. So we got some interesting things to look at there. Are we loaded up here? Nope. I know what I bet we can do. I go to the Path of Exile YouTube. There a Path of Exile YouTube? There we go. That's what I wanted. See if, because I mean, I assume they would. Here we go. Bestiary League official trailer. Alrighty, let's see what we got. Ooh, a cinematic.
In this land,
looks like a Witcher 3 Bestiary.
Is strength, and ignorance is death. A hunter must know his prey.
Zaps him. Oh boy. Cages, presumably in our hideouts to populate with beasts. Sacrifice them to craft. Oh my goodness, this looks crazy. Capture the dinosaur. Ooh, new gems. Oh, that looked like a fire sunder. Oh, I've got to pause it. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Finally, new faded uniques. I've been so disappointed for the last couple leagues that they just totally ignored that system after they introduced it. But now 30 faded new uniques. A lot of cool looking ones here. Kacholi. I've wanted a faded Kacholi forever because it's a dope item, but it's useless because it's low level. A lot of these other ones probably cool too, but that Kacholi immediately caught my eye because I've been complaining about no faded Kacholi for a long time. 30 new faded uniques. Revamped all Ascendancies? That's interesting. Got somebody just going ham with flame golems here. I hope, because I mean, some of the Ascendancies were fine, like, I assume some of them, when it says revamped, are probably just like minor number tweaks, because a lot of the Ascendancies I feel like are really good and serve their purpose. Uber Elder. There we go. That's probably the Elder for killing Elder when he kills Shaper's Guardians, because I don't know if that actually made it in the last update. I'd never seen somebody have one of Shaper's Guardians eaten by Elders, so that probably wasn't even in, but looks like he'll be in now. Oh my gosh, Uber Elder has a possessed version of Shaper with him in the fight. Looks like madness. Fighting some legendary beasts.
Ignorance is death. Only the worthy will survive.
Yeah.
We are survivors.
Nice. So all that looked pretty dope. Bestiary stuff looks like it'll be a lot of fun. But I think just from that trailer thing I'm most pumped about are the new Fated Uniques. 30 new Fated Uniques should hopefully open up a lot of new build possibilities. Alright, expand the Bestiary. Einhar's life work is the Bestiary, an extensive book describing the existence and classification of all of Ray-class wildlife. As you capture beasts, your progress is tracked in the Bestiary. Come on, load up pictures. I'm not a huge fan of this interface, I'm not gonna lie. I get that they wanted it to look like a book, but I don't know, the whole thing looks like an Xbox interface to me for some reason, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it'll be fun. Yeah, it looks just like something out of The Witcher, the Bestiary here. Well, anything particularly different here? Just canines. Alright. Populate your menagerie. Beasts that you capture can be kept alive and put on display in your menagerie until you're ready to sacrifice them at the blood altar. Oh boy. Nice. I notice they're recurringly using this word menagerie. It seems maybe this is something separate from your hideout, but hopefully still something interactable so you can show off your menagerie to other players. Beast crafting. Sacrifice your captured beasts at the blood altar to create and modify powerful items. The strongest beast crafting recipes will require capturing and defeating the rarest and most dangerous beasts. So there's like a little crafting interface here. Create an item with 1 white socket, 2 white sockets, your superior granite flask, your movement skill gem, split an item with 2 with half of the mods on each item, add a mod to a map, reroll socket colors. Interesting. So there's all kinds of crafting stuff and presumably some stuff that is unique specifically to the Bestiary thing. Create a rare map with at least this many mobs. Nice, nice. Create a rare shield with maximum life. Create some specific rare items. Create a socketed item with at least 4 linked sockets. Nice. So some cool new crafting items here. Defeat the spirit beasts. Beastcraft a portal to the spirit lands to hunt one of 4 different spirit beasts. These difficult encounters yield valuable unique item rewards and crafting opportunities. Yeah, I imagine their souls are used in the highest level crafting things, and here we've got some of the uniques. Kration's Carapace Golden Plate. Grant level 20 aspect of the crab. I have to figure out what that means, but it's got a lot of armor and health. Cannot be inflicted with bleeding, and +5 to maximum number of crab barriers, so I'm sure that's related to the aspect of the crab. Oh, alright, this is actually just one set from one of them, presumably Kration. Then he's got gloves, armor, a lot of flat life regen, that's interesting. Increased damage per crab barrier. 10% chance that if you would gain a crab barrier, you instead gain up to your maximum number of crab barriers. This sounds so random. Alright, we got life, armor, some move speed. Cannot be stunned if you have 10 or more crab barriers, and you only lose 7 crab barriers when you take physical damage from a hit. This is so random. Block apply to spells, percent life. Cannot lose crab barriers if you have lost crab barriers recently. So this real, like, there have been items with some sort of sketchy synergy before, but this is like straight up set items. These items obviously go directly together for crab barriers. It's interesting. I've always had mixed feelings on set items in other games, but these definitely feel like set items. We'll see how they work out. Additional block chance will you have at least 5 crab barriers, and more additional block chance will you have at least 10 crab barriers. Ah. The Uber Elder. Having corrupted the Shaper's guardians, the Elder has gained enough power to bend the Shaper to his will. Alright, yeah, so corrupting the Shaper's guardians. Defeat both of them at the center of the Atlas of Worlds and Path of Exile's hardest encounter. That sounds like a counter for my Instant Leech Gladiator build if that has not been nerfed out of existence in this patch. Yes, this is just fighting a Shaper and Elder at the same time. That's kind of ridiculous. Instant Leech Gladiator, here I come. Alright, they're going to show off the Chieftain here for us as one of the ones that was very badly needing reworking. Each of the 19 Ascendancy classes has been substantially rebalanced to ensure a consistent power level, and many have received new mechanics to build around. Alright, I can't hover over here, but we do have an image for the Chieftain. What do we got now? And in fact, I should bring up the old Chieftain. Probably won't bring it up on the main screen here, but I just want to bring it up on my side screen for reference, and I can read out some of the major differences. Let's bring up old Chieftain here. Ooh, it's actually been rearranged as well. It now, instead of forking, has 3 double large node paths, instead of forking and having 1 little node path. Alright, so let's hit the major ones here. Let's look at Tawa Force Strength. Previously gave % armor, all resistance, reduced mana cost, and strength. Now, okay, so now the life regen per endurance charge is there on Tawa Force Strength. When you or totems kill a burning enemy, 20% chance for you to gain endurance charge, and 10% increased fire damage per endurance charge. Let's see, that is... So the Ramako Sun's Light stuff has been moved on to Tawa Forest Strength pretty much, with the addition of 10% increased fire damage per endurance charge. Alright, next we had Ngamahu Flames Advance. Is that still here? Ngamahu Flames Advance, previously it was really, really weak. Just gave 15% chance to ignite and 35% increased damage against burning enemies, which is garbage. But what does it do now? Now gives 50% of fizz converted to fire. Ooh, there we go. Damage penetrates 10% fire resistance, and every 10 seconds gain, oh my goodness, gain 100% of fizz as extra fire for 3 seconds. So that's pretty freaking strong. And that is this node here. Just, I assume the pictures are probably the same. Yeah, they are. So that is a... well, that was Ngamahu Flames Advance. Yeah, so that's this one. So that's one you can get on normal lab. You can get 10% fire pen, 50% fizz to fire, and 3 seconds of super ridiculous steroid every 10 seconds. That is pretty nice. I mean, obviously, this isn't how most things work in Path of Exile, but if you want to consider that in DPS, you're getting 100% extra damage 30% of the time. So in terms of long-term DPS, it's like 30% more all the time if you are thinking of DPS out with an infinite number of attacks. So basically, although it's inconsistent, that's a 30% more damage node, along with 10% fire pen, which is basically 10% more damage, and your conversion. So it's helping you with your conversion and giving you 40% more damage on one node. That's pretty crazy. Let's look at Ramako Sun's Light, because that's the one coming off the new Tawa Forest Strength, so that would be this one up here. Previously, Ramako Sun's Light is the one that gave the... Okay, so this is the one that previously gave the life regen per endurance charge and the chance for you to gain endurance charges. So that has been moved to Tawa Forest Strength and added on 10% fire damage per endurance charge. And now Ramako Sun's Light instead gives 100 fire resistance. That lets you just totally ignore fire res on gear pretty much. You only need 35% fire res to be capped. Gives you 1% regen, 10% fizz taken as fire, and 2% more life regen if you've taken fire damage from a hit recently and unaffected by ignite. This is some really strong stuff on the Chieftain now. Chieftain was definitely considered to be one of the worst by most people before, but obviously you don't know how the other ones have changed, but so far this is looking like legit just one of the strongest Ascendancies now. Some of these nodes are freaking crazy. So, other one we had looked at was what? We had looked at Ngamahu Flames Advance, which was this one. Now we'll look at Hinakora Death's Fury, which is the one that comes after that. So Hinakora Death's Fury previously gave you fire damage leached as life, 10% fire pen, totem damage leached to you, and fizz as fire if your totems have killed recently. Now it still gives fire damage leached as life. The 10% increased strength has been moved there, still gives the totem leech, and 10% chance to cover rare or unique enemies in Ash for 10 seconds when you hit them, which is the same mod that is on the Joff's Blood Amulet, and enemies that are covered in Ash have 20% less move speed and take 20% increased fire damage. That's really strong, giving you more damage when you need it and slowing them down. All these are really strong so far. None of these have looked bad so far. Now we've got... Wait a second. How are these arranged? I might have misarranged some of those when I was talking about them, but... Arawangwi Moon's Presence should be this one. So previously, Arawangwi Moon's Presence gave enemies near your totems deal 8% less damage, and enemies near your totems take 16% increased fizz and fire damage, and that one has stayed the same. That makes sense. That one was pretty solid already one of his best nodes, so they didn't change that one. That makes sense. And then Tsukahama War's Herald over here previously gave totems are immune to fire damage, have 50% of your armor, have 20% chance to taunt on hit, and reflect percent of their maximum life as fire damage to nearby enemies when hit. And looks like that is all the same. Alright, so the two totem dedicated ones didn't change, which makes sense because totems was the Chieftain's like one good usage previously, so it makes sense that they didn't really change that much. And they really jacked up the stuff that was weak before, so Chieftain looking very solid now. That'll definitely be one to look at moving forward. And it looks like we also got some reworks on the Berserker, which we will get to look at here. So again, I'm just going to bring that up on my other screen so I can look for comparison. It is slightly changed in arrangement, but not much. It looks like maybe these have just been flipped. Okay, they've just been flipped around a little bit, but same kind of deal. So Pain Reaver is exactly the same, 1% leech. Oh wait, no, it's been changed to attack damage. Alright, so that's been heavily nerfed. No longer free spell leech by playing a Berserker. Cloaked in Savagery. Is that the same? Alright, Cloaked in Savagery is exactly the same, and it is still global damage leeched as life rather than just attack damage. Warbringer is the Warcry one. Gained, okay, so it's the same at the base there, but then it's got this other thing added on. Gain 5 rage when you use a Warcry. Maximum rage is 50. You lose 1 rage every 0.5 seconds if you have not been hit or gained rage recently. And you gain the following effects while you have rage. 1% increased attack damage per 1 rage. So if you have full rage, which you should if you're spamming your war cries all the time based on those time constraints there, you will eventually get up to full rage. Gain the following effects. So with full rage, you would have 50% increased attack damage, 1% attack speed per 2 rage, so you'd have 25% attack speed, 1% movement speed per 5 rage, so you would get 10% movement speed. Oh boy, but lose 2% of your maximum life per second per 1 rage. Or 0.2% rather. Even still, that's pretty strong. Oh, I guess that's not too bad actually. That's only 1% of your maximum life per second when you're full, so that's not too bad. Or no, let's see. 0.02. Yeah, just kidding. You'd lose 10% of your maximum life per second if you're full on rage. That seems iffy. But okay. Alright, and then we've got some of this stuff kind of moved around. Rite of Ruin is over here now and chains into Warbringer. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell what some of these icons are. It looks like some of the icons have actually been switched. The Rite of Ruin, effects granted from rage are doubled and cannot be stunned while you have at least 25 rage. Huh. So does that also double the life loss though? So you'd be losing 20% of your max HP per second? That sounds really questionable. An aspect of Carnage has remained the same, but it is now its own little separate one, so it gets full effectiveness there. So that would make it so you'd have 100% attack damage, 50% attack speed, and 20% movement speed while you're on full rage. If you took Rite of Ruin, you're also going to be losing 20% of your maximum life per second. Which seems like a dubious proposition to me. And finally, Crave the Slaughter. Gain 1 rage when you hit an enemy, okay. And 10% chance to... Oh, when you kill an enemy rather, and 10% chance to gain 1 rage when you hit rare or unique enemy. So he basically has his own kind of like super form of Onslaught that presumably stacks with Onslaught, but also makes him eat degen like crazy. I don't really know what you would even do to mitigate 20% health loss per second. That seems real iffy if you don't have anything to hit around. And that's your entire leech rate cap at the beginning. So you're like gonna have to go Volpact. But then it would kill your regen, so it'd be even more dangerous when there are no enemies around. I'm not nearly as impressed with that one as I am with the Chieftain. But interesting nonetheless. Move on. Yeah, 3 new gems. Content update 3.2 includes 3 new active skill gems. Spectral... Oh, yes! Spectral shield throw. Dope. Tectonic... Wait. Oh, 2 new support. Okay, 2 active skill gems and 1 support gem. Okay. Tectonic Strike. And the new support gem, Summon Phantasm on kill. Alright. Spectral Shield Throw. Throws a spectral copy of your shield as a projectile that cannot pierce and deals offhand damage augmented by the defenses of the shield. When it collides with something, it will shatter, launching a number of smaller shards as projectiles in all directions. Modifiers that cause additional projectiles to be fired will add more shards, not more copies of the shield. So you can only throw 1 shield at a time, but it'll fire more projectiles if you get more projectile things. Base offhand crit strike chance is 5%. Plus 0.1 to critical strike chance per 10 maximum energy shield on the shield. Alright. Shard projectiles deal 25% less damage. 13 to 19 base offhand physical damage at level 1. Alright. 2 to 3 added fizz per 15 armor or evasion. Alright, so energy shield on the shield ups the crit, and armor and evasion up the flat fizz damage, and presumably so does leveling it, and it gives 20% more attack speed. That one will need a lot of playing around with. One thing it does do is it makes it so some of those rare shields that just have massive amounts of ES or evasion or whatever will actually be worthwhile. So that's pretty interesting. Have to see how that one pans out. And it said the base shield can't pierce. It's a little annoying, actually. Ideally, you'd want it to be able to use with pierce the gem, so it would pierce like 2 enemies to get to the middle of the pack and then explode. But still could be pretty interesting. Alright, the support here, summon Phantasm on kill. Support skills that can hit enemies or create minions. Interesting, so you can use this as a minion support. When those skills or minions kill enemies, they will have a chance to summon a Phantasm minion, which uses a piercing projectile spell that deals physical damage. 50% chance to summon a Phantasm with supported skill or non-Phantasm minions. Supported skills, okay, deal a killing blow. Can have up to 5 Phantasms summoned at a time, and they last 10 seconds. That seems weird. like it's okay, but I don't know, that seems just kind of out there and random. But maybe it could be cool. And it looks like we don't get the details on Tectonic Strike yet, but we did see it in the build video. It said doesn't shape new faded uniques. I wonder if it'll actually show us a couple. See if I can find that portion in the video where it was showing Tectonic Strike. Where was that? I think it was maybe after the faded unique. Internet here at this place we're staying really is not great. I know somewhere in the video it did show the Tectonic Strike being used. I'd like to find that so we could at least kind of speculate on maybe what it would do. I don't know where that was though, that could be anywhere here. Anyways, we're not going to worry about that right now. It looked really similar to Sunder, so I'll be interested to see what it does. Oh, nice. It looks like they're going to show the faded Keichuli now. Oh my gosh. Pause you video. I don't care now. Please be good. Fingers crossed that the faded Keichuli is not garbage. Because I've really wanted a faded Keichuli for a long time. Dozens of new faded uniques. We've added 30 new faded uniques, which can be obtained by obtaining prophecies, or by completing prophecies from the Soothsayer Navali. These items are upgraded versions of regular counterparts, new abilities designed to create many new build possibilities. Alright. It's got a crazy name, Panquetzalitzli. Yeah, I think I said that right. Panquetzalitzli. Yeah, Panquetzalitzli. Jagged Maul. So it requires level 61 before I even, oh, let's see, here we go. So it's got some okay DPS, maybe. 286 to 359, let's just do it out. 286 plus 359 divided by 2 times 1, or whatever, it doesn't actually matter what order we do that in. Times 1.2 for quality, and then times 1.25 for the speed. 483, so it's pretty solid DPS two-hander. Not bad there at all. If it had quality, and that's just on the rolls it has there. It gives all attributes, still gives the killed enemies explode, dealing 10% of their life as fire damage, and recover 5% of your maximum life on kill. What did original Keichuli have? Did it have that life on kill? OE Keichuli. No, it didn't. Alright, so it's been updated to actually have usable DPS later in the game. it had 10 flat life gained on kill, but now it's recover 5%. Whoa, 5% of max life on kill. That's pretty solid. I like that. I'll probably build something around that. That seems like it goes with the chieftain, the new chieftain, really well. Greed Trap. So this is an upgraded version of Wonder Trap. Greed Trap Velvet Slippers. Alright, do we have anything interesting here? Level 52. And they give 12% increased quantity of items found when on low life. Alright. Feel like gold worms do. Seems like the kind of thing where you just use gold worm instead. So previous Wonder Traps gave 100% increased rarity of items found when on low life. These new ones give 12 quantity of items found when on low life, and they've got like a little bit of energy shield, I guess, and they've got better move speed than Goldworm. But I feel like 99.99% of people that are worried about quantity would just use Goldworm instead of the Greed Trap, so that one's pretty useless. I'm not too excited about that one. Fox's Fortune upgrade of Fox Shade. Adds 5 to 12 fizz damage to attacks, 22 dex. You gain, and it has a huge amount of evasion rating. Base here, it's got 2000, and you gain 1500 evasion rating when on full life. Nice. Still gives the move speed, and enemies are unlucky when damaging you while you're on full life, so that makes their crits unlucky, I believe. So, that's pretty good. Still has no life, so it's kind of It's better than these. I could actually see somebody using this for a build, kind of in the same vein as a Kintsugi. Those Greed Traps are garbage, but the upgraded kit troll is pretty cool. The Great Mind of the North. Alright, and these are for different ones that we don't get to see yet. You will defeat Thunderskull while holding the Magnate. Alright, so the Magnate is one of the ones getting an update. That belt's actually underrated already if you're doing a flask build. You will defeat Caliga and Puretrix while holding a Fen Coil. Nice, upgrade for Fen Coil. I wouldn't be surprised if its faded version has some more support gems built into it. Darkton's Shriek. You will defeat Dweidri the Defiler while holding Windscream. Cool if it made Windscream give 2 max curses. And much, much more. Content update 3.2.0 also includes a new a new quest in Act 10, 29 new unique items, 10 new div cards, and many other changes. And we got a few things here. What do we got? Disintegrator Maelstrom Staff. It's an Elder thing. I wonder if it's specifically an Uber Elder item. So it's got a lot of fizz damage and some fizz damage to spells. +1 maximum siphoning charge per Elder or Shaper item equipped. 25% chance to gain a siphoning charge when you use a skill. Adds 14 to 15 fizz damage to attacks and spells per siphoning charge. And 2% of non-chaos damage is extra chaos damage per siphoning charge. 1% fizz damage reduction from hits per siphoning charge. Damage leached is life per siphoning charge, and take and take 150 physical damage per second per siphoning charge if you used the skill recently. It's not that hard to mitigate fizz damage though. That one could be pretty strong. You can use quite a few Shaper and Elder items if you really want to. Won't be cheap, but that's definitely something worth building around, I think. Gorgon's Gaze Regicide Mask. Grants level 20 Summon Petrification Statue. Has some energy shield, some life, increased attack and cast speed, 5% additional fizz damage reduction while moving, and reduced elemental damage taken while stationary. That's pretty cool. I assume the Statue of Petrification. Oh, sorry about these yawns. Probably works similar to the Basilisk's Petrification, but for enemy monsters instead. Woe-Locket Amber Amulet. That is not a Shaper or Elder item. Just has some new mod on it called grants level 20 aspect of the cat. Seems like a tie. Okay, so maybe that's a Bestiary specific mod, probably from Beast Crafting, I would guess. And Elder's Orb. Upgrade. Whoa. Upgrades any map on the Atlas to tier 16. That's pretty interesting. I think I would probably not mind tier 16 beaches. A lot of good lower maps that would be pretty dope with that. Interesting, interesting. And Bestiary supporter packs. We are also launching 2 sets of supporter packs alongside the content update. The Harpy and Manticore supporter packs. There are 2 price points available for each, and they feature exclusive armor sets as well as pets, weapon effects, social frames, forum titles, and more. Alright. That's got me pretty excited. This seems like it is going to be a fun league with a lot of new stuff to do with the Bestiary, and a lot of updates to the base game with Uber Elder and a new quest and these revamped Ascendancies, skill gems. This is very exciting. I think there will be a lot to do this league. Thank you guys for watching. Got more videos coming soon, probably. In fact, we've got one really garbage build guide coming up probably tomorrow on a crappy build that didn't really work out, but it'll still be a fun video. So give a thumbs up, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all later.